Hey everyone, so today we're looking at another 5.56 AK magazine option. As you're probably aware, the gold standard for if you're going to go with polymer as opposed to steel is that the polymer mags should be steel reinforced in all the critical areas. So for example, specifically kind of your locking tabs here and your feed lips as well should be steel reinforced. The rest can be mostly polymer. So that way you kind of have the strength and also the weight savings that you get from that. There are manufacturers that are often claimed to be, sometimes by the general shooting public and sometimes by the manufacturer themselves, that they are the exception. One of those are these WBP magazines. They're made in Poland. They ship with WBP rifles, but they're also available separately as well. Price-wise, they're right in the same range as the Pro Mag and the Pioneer branded options, so at least they're not terribly expensive, which is, they have that going for them. Let's go over the features real quick. There's not really that much to discuss. This is a standard capacity magazine. It is not reinforced in any of the critical areas. It does have a metal floor plate. That's about it. It is translucent. The only marking we have here is, let me see if I can get to focus, but 5.56 WBP. These magazines have a very good reputation for reliability. I generally believe that to be true. Now, in the case of my particular rifle, it doesn't seem to like them very much. They fit in okay. Well, they fit very tight, actually, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It'll probably work in. The problem is that they don't feed all that well. Basically, several times per magazine, the bolt will just kind of skate right over the rounds and not feed one into the chamber. It just seems like it's slightly off. I actually blame that more on the rifle. There's kind of some inconsistency with the mag wells on Pioneer rifles. I guess I theoretically could have tested this in my Zostava M90, but I didn't. But suffice it to say that they're generally okay. My rifle doesn't seem to like them all that much. But in any case, to discuss the testing, it's basically similar to the Pioneer mag video that I did very recently. So the first test should be a very easy one to pass. Basically, I'm just giving it a few palm strikes on this corner to see if I could shear the locking tab. It's a little bit less comfortable with this mag as opposed to the Pioneer one I did recently, just because this sharp metal edge here. But the whole purpose of this one is to see if it can be broken by hand using relatively little force, because if it is that, then the mag is actually fragile. It's basically pro mag quality and best avoided. And then the next one, I would just kind of huck it right at a tree stump, hitting the kind of the same area to see if this is probably more of an approximation of if you were running and you took a fall or something like that, to see if that would break the magazine. And so I guess we'll cut to the results. So unfortunately, it looks like we have another fail here. The locking tab, as you can see, is shorn off. It's too bad. So that first test, the magazine held up just fine. I tried to show the tab afterwards just to show that it didn't crack. I don't know how well it focused or any of that sort of stuff, but it held up just fine. So we definitely aren't dealing with Pro Mag quality here, which I suppose is a little bit like being the smartest kid in summer school, but it did survive that. It's not, the worst option out there. However, ultimately, the tree stump did emerge victorious in the second test. The locking lugs did shear. We can here's a view of that same magazine. So same issue as the Pioneer mag. Would have been nice if it was pleasantly surprising and it actually held up just fine, as well as a steel magazine would. Unfortunately not. So for the Rage, I think again these could be a worthwhile option. They're not extremely durable, unreasonably durable considering the polymer construction, unfortunately. That's really all I have for this one. Thank you for watching, as always.